Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of July 31st through August 4th, where we'll talk about our top swing trading stocks to watch. We'll look at ETFs, dividend payers, our option strategies, multiple ways to generate income while we look for opportunities for top swing trade opportunities. So again, we'll look at our top swing trading stocks to watch, our bullpen, our shopping list, etc. Good morning, Easy Mike. Thank you for joining us in the chat today. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're still enjoying the beach. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the week of July 31st through August 4th. Our Google documents with our notes for our weekly trading game plans are publicly accessible. You can find a direct link to this notes document in the description box below. We store all of our Google documents with our notes from our weekly trading game plans in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder. You can also find a direct link to this Google Drive folder in the description box below, so you can refer back to our notes from part 1 of this week's weekly trading game plan, previous weekly trading game plans, etc. Our notes documents contain links to bonus video, tools, and resources that we use to select our top swing trading stocks to watch, etc. If you haven't already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week, titled Fallout from the Latest Fed Interest Rate Hike, we would highly recommend you also view part 1, as that contains our market analysis, our strategies, trade ideas, again, for making money trading in the fallout from the latest Fed interest rate hike. So again, we'd recommend you also see part 1 if you have not already done so. Welcome to Ricky Kahn, Walter Lyons, Nug M. Thank you all for joining us today. Hope you all are doing well. So firstly, we'll review a couple of trades that we made this week. Again, haven't been making a whole lot of trades. The market's been pretty exuberant, pretty toppy, and we'll talk about that. And again, talk about strategies to generate income while we look for opportunities for good swing trades. The first one is we got finally stopped out of our long position in land, which is a REIT on farmland. We'd entered back in March at 1701. We got stopped out on the 24th at 1716, so we got a small profit, about a little less than 1%, or about 0.2% a month on price appreciation, after also having collected 5 months worth of monthly dividends on land. So congratulations to all of our fellow BeachBum traders who also profited and collected income from this long-term swing trade on land. So we're essentially out of our REITs right now, and we saw that the REITs got hit pretty severely with the Bank of Japan's yield curve policy adjustments, and also the latest Fed interest rate hike. So that's part of the fallout from the latest Fed interest rate hike is mortgage rates. The 10-year yield went up. So real estate may take a hit. If we see an opportunity to get back into these REITs at a cheaper price, then obviously we would be interested in those. So we'll continue to watch land. We also were in MPW and STAG, and we'll keep an eye on those for opportunities, again, to take this kind of long-term swing, collect monthly dividends, and also get some price appreciation. Welcome, Alan Krantz. Thank you for joining us. So the other trade we did is, and we'll take a look at this, is yen, is the leverage long on China. It had a 14-15% run on Friday. So we sold another covered call at the $60 strike price for January of 2024. We sold that at $460 per contract. And again, we'll look to buy that back cheaper. If we see a significant correction in the yen, then we would look at buying that covered call back cheaper, keeping the difference in premium as essentially a self-generated dividend, and then we'll rinse and repeat. And this is, several times we've generated our own little dividend on our position in yen, and this is a long-term hold trending up on China. If you would like to get real-time alerts when we enter or exit any trade, you can get that information by joining any level of our Patreon. As soon as we enter or exit a trade, I post that to our Patreon members. You get email notifications of our entry or exit in a trade. So if you would find that helpful, again, I don't recommend you blindly follow us or anyone else into or out of a trade, but if this would help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career, you can get real-time alerts of our trade entries and exits by joining any level of our Patreon. And you can find a link to our Patreon here in the notes, also in the description box below. Also, we have a couple channels where these trade alerts get automatically posted, or I manually post them in our Discord. And again, our Patreon members have access to these alerts channels. So I have Thinkorswim price alerts automatically set up. So when those get triggered, they get automatically posted in this Thinkorswim alerts channel. So you can see when it triggered on land where I had my stop. And then if we actually follow that up with an entry or exit in a trade, I would reply to that in the Thinkorswim channel. When we sold our covered call on yen, since that wasn't a Thinkorswim price alert triggered trade, I post that in the trade alerts channel. And again, any level of our Patreon will give you access to all of these trade alerts. So again, we hope this helps you, make money and succeed in your trading career as well. So we'll take a quick look at those trades in Webull. Again, our land trade was pretty long, March to July, so we'll take a look at that. Zoom this guy out for a bit. So we got in back in March, somewhere down here. Well, actually, it was up around 17 or so. We got in a bit high. You can see it's kind of oscillated over the month. So we just sat there and collected our monthly dividends. Guess I can zoom that out a little bit. So yeah, we got in, near this dip here. It declined. Real estate continued to get beat up. So we collected monthly dividends. You can see it went up. We got our stop under that pivot point, and then subsequently it's now rolled over again. So July 24th, when it rolled over, broke down below that pivot, we got stopped out, and then as we see it's declined further. Again, I'd like to get into land significantly lower. Looks like high 14s, low 15s would be a nice entry point. Maybe 16ish if it doesn't decline that far. We like the long-term thesis. We like the monthly dividends, although it's pretty small on land, only about 5 cents. So yen, again, our position, is pretty high. We've held this for a long time. So to generate income, lower our cost basis, collect the income on those covered calls. We've been selling covered calls against that position. We also get to collect the dividends on yen. It's a quarterly dividend. Looks like it's about 20 cents or so. Again, on Friday, we see that dramatic jump up in yen. Those calls jumped up in price like 33%. So good opportunity. We sell covered calls when the price of our position is going up, buy them back when it's coming back down. So again, if we see a significant correction in yen and get an opportunity to buy that covered call back cheaper, then we'll do so, keep the difference in premium, and then rinse and repeat. Okay, we'll look at our top swing trading stocks to watch list for this week. This is our real-time watch list, our top swing trading stocks to watch list. So we still have Disney in our watch list. Again, several people were talking about Disney this week. I believe we'll see their earnings are coming up. Last week, I forgot to put in the link to this old due diligence video I did for beginner trading on Disney. You can listen to that video. It talks about some of my personal experience working at Disney, some of my views on Disney. And again, you can hear about that in that due diligence video that we did previously. FANGD, we've been talking about opportunities for short. FANGD is the short on the FANG stocks. Again, we've got Apple and Amazon are reporting on Thursday, so that might provide an opportunity if FANGU spikes up. Again, we use FANGU as the entry determination for shorting the FANGs. JYNT, medical facilities, chiropractor. We did a quick take due diligence on that, so you can view that. This is a bonus link. It hasn't been published yet, but you can hear more about JYNT, why we're watching that, price targets, etc. in that short video. I'm going to take METC off. METC was the one we were looking at trading sector rotations in and out of coking coal. It's run up quite a bit. Still, if we see, dramatic rotation out of coking coal, that METC would be the one we would look at as a potential play for that commodity. Welcome the Crow. Thank you for joining us. Glad to see you as well. We traded MJ. This is on the ETF on cannabis. We're looking for another opportunity. They had some news late in the week. It's run up a little bit, but we'll see. I guess it's no longer excluded from federal employment. Cannabis users are no longer automatically excluded from federal employment. I think that was the news. MP Materials, we've been watching for a while. It looks like it's slowly coming down. We'll see. Still a little bit higher than I'd like. You can hear our due diligence and the reasons we like MP Materials via the link to that due diligence video and also on our BeachBum trading channel. SOXS, again, the short on semiconductors. Semiconductors are running up. I thought we might get an opportunity on Friday. Didn't quite hit the previous top. We'll see where that previous top is in SOXL. Again, we use SOXL to determine our entry point to short semiconductors. UROY, again, our uranium play for sector rotations in and out of uranium. Again, uranium's been running up a little bit lately, so we'll see if we get a rotation back out of uranium and get an opportunity, which UROY still looks like the best opportunity, but you can see some of the other uranium stocks we like in this video on uranium stocks. So now we'll look at the charts in Webull for each of those stocks. Just a quick reminder, you can still get up to 12 free stocks in Webull by opening and funding an account. They're also offering 5% interest on uninvested cash in a cash account. So again, you can earn money on your idle cash if you're not already using Webull. Again, Webull is our preferred platform for doing the majority of our trading. We also do market analysis, due diligence, etc. in Webull. So if you're not already using Webull, we recommend it, and you can help support our channel by signing up for Webull using our affiliate link in the description box below, which we always appreciate. Another nice feature of Webull is you can have many different watch lists. So I have my primary watch list. Again, I'm using the online browser version of Webull. So here's our top swing trading stocks to watch list. Here's Disney. The low on Disney was actually in like 84, but anything around 85. See, it's come up, bounced up a little bit, but we'll see if on earnings, if they get, if we get a little bit of a reaction to the earnings, might be a good entry point. We're also attempting to sell a cash secured put on Disney, as you'll see in our option strategies at 85. So I've got both potential to buy shares and a sell on a cash secured put. And we talked about the FANG stocks. We can see the previous top in the FANGs was about 228. It did make a little bit of a run up, but again, we would either look for it to bounce off that resistance or to retest that previous top, and that would be our entry trigger for FANGD. Again, FANGD and SOXS are both leveraged ETFs, so they suffer from some decay. So again, I always use the longs as the determination of the entry point for those leveraged ETFs. JYNT, the chiropractor, medical facilities. Again, we wanted to see the low, around 1290-ish. We're below. It's been trading sideways, so we'll see if we get an opportunity there. Again, MJ kind of bounced back up, possibly get on that recent news. So we'll see if we get a correction or if it's just going to continue to run. Again, MP Materials, still a little bit high, previous low around 20. So, but it does look like it's, slowly coming down. So we'll see where it bottoms and turns and see if we can get an opportunity to get into MP Materials. SOXL, again, this is the long on semiconductors. You can see it's very close to its recent high, 28.56 or so. Again, Friday, it made a pretty strong run. And we'll see if it retests that high. And if so, again, we take a short term. All of these FANGD, SOXS are best for day trades, very short term swing trades. Nothing that I would want to hold for any length of time. And that makes it a little bit challenging for me because I, typically not watching charts all day, watching the market all day. So if it makes a move later in the day and I can't foresee that, then I might miss it. But again, opportunities. I know we've got some day traders, scalpers, short-term traders in our BeachBum trading community. So these are some opportunities, and we'll also look at some day trade, short-term opportunity trades in our bullpen as well. UROY, again, one of our preferred plays on uranium, previous low around 181. Again, it's been running kind of high, so you can see it kind of oscillates, low two teens, 214, 219, below $2, 190, 188. So if we get a correction down here, then we can, ride it back up. We've scalped it numerous times for that range. See, they've just had earnings. And also they have a mixed shelf offering, so just be aware. If that goes into effect, they can drop an offering at any time, so just be aware and watch for the potential for an offering on any run-up. Another quick reminder, all of our watch list stocks, we automatically generate a automatically generated web page that our Patreon members have access to. It also includes price targets, dividend information, earnings dates, again, dividend yield, etc., optionality, etc. So if that would also help you to have price targets, our price targets, etc., for our watch list stocks, as well as our bullpen stocks, etc. If you join any low level of our Patreon, you get access to that information. And then if I make any changes to that after that web page is generated daily, I post it in a stocks watch list channel in our Discord that our Patreon members have access to. And so you can see, and we'll talk about BZQ, which is the short on Brazil. I added that on the 27th, and you can see that posted in our Discord. So again, if this would help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career, to have our watch list, daily updated watch list and price targets, etc., you can get that with any level of our Patreon. So let me grab a quick drink, and then we'll talk about our bullpen stocks. For anyone that's new to our channel, the concept of bullpen stocks are not ones that we're watching real time. I'm not running all of our real-time alerting systems on those during the day. I just revisit them at the end of each day. These are ones that I've identified that look like in the near term they may have an attractive swing trading setup. So at the end of the day, I check them. If their setup has improved, then we put them in the game, move them up to our main top swing trading stocks to watch list. And if they run away or break down, then we just take them out of the bullpen. But again, I just revisit this list at the end of each day and then either put them in the game, move them up to our watch list, or take them out of the bullpen. And any new ones that look like they might be coming into an attractive setup, I add to the bullpen. So we have ACNT. ACNT is the steel, small cap steel that we identified. Looks like it's been a laggard, so it looks like a potential opportunity for trading that sector rotation in and out of steel. We reviewed, did a quick take due diligence on ACNT, I think last week, and you can see that short video via the bonus link in our notes. Similarly with AXTI, this again, another small semiconductor, potential laggard in the run in semiconductors. And again, we did a quick take due diligence on that you can see in the bonus link in the notes here. We're going to talk about BZQ. Yesterday, we talked about emerging markets. We looked at how you can find stocks and ETFs in various emerging markets. We've been looking at a variety of emerging markets. Brazil is one. We'll take a look at BZQ. You can also see our videos, previous discussions on Brazil, as well as Europe, the Nikkei, etc. Via these bonus links in our notes, as well as on our channel coming up. And again, this is part of the strategy we talked about yesterday with trading emerging markets. When we'll look at this and I'll talk in more detail about BZQ, Brazil, etc. when we get into Webull. EPV is one we had in the bullpen too short. The FTSE Europe, and again you can hear more of the discussion about how to use EURL, which is the ETF for long Europe, and then how to short Europe with EPV. And these combinations of longing and shorting, both Brazil, Europe, again we talked about Mexico, we talked about the Nikkei, Japan. We've got EWV, which is the short on the Nikkei. EZJ is the long. I know, again, we have a number of day traders, short-term traders, scalpers in our BeachBum trading community. So I'm identifying these. Some of these are not really suitable for my style of longer-term swing trading. And for example, EPV, the risk-reward profile, the risk-reward profile doesn't really meet my criteria of what I'm looking for. Also, I notice it's pretty choppy. It's pretty illiquid. Maybe okay for day traders and scalpers, so I kind of left that there. BZQ, I think, falls in the same category. So again, these may be good for day traders, scalpers, etc., but probably end up taking them out of our swing trading watch list. And Easy Mike says, yeah, some of these, again, if for day trade opportunities, short-term scalps, hopefully this helps. We're identifying these ETFs. Some of these are leveraged ETFs and ways to play. If you see the futures, and the Euro stocks spiked up, Brazil's been running up. So on a correction, you might be able to short, turn around to the long. So when we get in our ETFs spreadsheet, we'll also talk about some additional emerging market ETFs that we have identified that, again, you can use for various styles of trading. Welcome, Douglas PC. Thank you for joining us. Glad to see you. Hope you're feeling better. So we talked also about, shorting the ARK-K using SARK. So ARK-K has been running up with technology, with the exuberance. If it peaks out, if ARK-K peaks out, we might be looking for an opportunity to short that with SARK. SunPower, we talked about the rotation and the dichotomy in the solar sector. You'll see this news item, and you can look at this news item in more detail that I identified in SunPower. They slashed their guidance. They also kind of pre-announced their upcoming earnings, not expected to be good. So again, they're saying they're getting weakening demand. However, First Solar announced their earnings. That was very positive. They ran up. So we're kind of watching, see if the sentiment turns in SunPower. Again, they kind of pre-announced the negativity. Their earnings is coming up on August 1st. So if it bottoms, maybe it's overly negative, an overly negative reaction to this earnings, and might present an opportunity. And again, that's a play on the sector rotation in and out of solar. BHI, I'm going to take out of the bullpen. It's already run up. Again, you can see our quick take due diligence on VHI. Again, it's a chemical, basic materials chemical company, titanium nitride, etc. If we see, a sector rotation out of basic materials chemicals, the VHI, TROX are two that we like for that, playing that sector. So we'll look at those charts in Webull quickly. So again, I flip over to, and this is what I do at the end of each day, is just flip over to my Bullpen watch list. And then just quickly scroll through. Got, ideal price target lines. See how close those are to those price target lines, which way it's trending. We can see ACNT is kind of flat. We see a little dip. It's dipping down, potentially testing that support, but otherwise, pretty flat right now. ARK-K. So the long-term high, the next high is somewhere in the 53s, 53.86. So we'll see if it retests that. It did test and bounce off this resistance point. Well, it was about R3 is 51.35. So you see how it tested that resistance point and pretty dramatically dipped down. So again, opportunities potentially for very short-term trades. I'd like to see it test and reject off that previous high. AXTI, very similar. This is the semiconductor. Again, pretty flat, laggard in semiconductors. We see some movement in that. That might be an opportunity. Here's this BZQ, which is the, let me see, here's the long on Brazil. EWZ is the long on Brazil. See, the trend is definitely up. See it tested and rejected off that resistance point. So again, short-term trading opportunities. Looks like, you can long Brazil with EWZ, short with BZQ. But again, the near-term risk-reward profile is only like 12 to 15. And the trend in Brazil seems like it's definitely up. So I don't see, unless Brazil really rolls over, and I just don't see that in the chart. I see a continued trend upward. It's going to make higher lows, higher highs. So again, I'll probably take BZQ off of our swing trading stock watch list. I think Brazil's going to keep running up. I'm not going to try to short it into an upward trend. Possibly similarly with Japan. Here's the long. EZJ is the long on Japan. Again, we see the long-term trend is pretty much upward. You see when it tests these resistance points, we do get a pretty quick rejection. So there's short-term risk reward for day trade scalps using EZJ, and EWV is the short on the Nikkei. So again, short-term day trade scalping opportunities in emerging markets. But again, I'll probably take these out of our swing trading watch lists. We can watch these in our ETF Google sheet, and if that risk reward profile, meets my 2-to-1 profile, then we would take another look. But again, I hope that helps for shorter term day traders, scalpers, etc. SARK again is the short on ARK-K. We use ARK-K as the determination of entry into SARK. As you see, it's continuing to deteriorate. And then here's SunPower. We see that dramatic drop on that news where they, announced poor guidance. So, and then it is just slowly trending down. So we'll see if this is a bottom. 899 is the low, so right around that 9 looks like a pretty good bottom. If we get a little bit of a reaction on their earnings, that might be a possible entry for, a longer term swing back up. Maybe it's a turnaround play, etc. So I hope that helps. Easy Mike says, yeah, Enphase took a hit as well. So yeah, the news was, some of the solars took a hit, and then the positive earnings in First Solar. So again, the whole sector, solar sector, was pretty split. Okay, the concept of shopping list. Again, we talked about earnings. Got a lot of earnings coming out. Might get a negative reaction on earnings. We talked about the fallout from the Fed interest rate hike. It impacts things like real estate, etc. So again, have your shopping list of stocks that you want to buy on a irrational reaction to earnings. If we get a quick correction in the overall indices, might give an opportunity. And have your shopping list ready. Again, I recommend staying away from zombie stocks, those that are barely servicing their debt. Again, we still have rising interest rates, and yesterday, again, we saw, the probabilities of potential further interest rate hikes. Just a quick reminder, and I put the banner up there that none of this is financial advice. We're not financial advisors. All of our content is my opinion and for education and hopefully some entertainment purposes only. Okay, yesterday we didn't have time to look at our ETF Google sheet, so I put that in today. Take a look at our ETFs. So if there's additional categories, indices, topics that you'd like to look at an ETF in our ETF Google sheet, we can review those. I'll point out again some additional emerging market ETFs that we have in here. And just a quick reminder, if you'd like to have access to this ETF Google sheet, again, this tracks prices in near real time. It also has the support and resistance levels that I've identified and the corresponding risk reward profiles. And again, it updates near real time using Google Finance functions. And then at the end of the day, our automated systems will update the support, resistance, etc. So if you'd like to have access to this 24/7, you can join our Patreon at either the all access or VIP levels. That will give you access to our ETF Google sheet, our dividend payers, our puts ROIC, which is a puts return on invested capital Google sheet, which hopefully we'll also have time to review today. Okay, let me grab a drink, and I want to talk about some additions that we identified and added to our ETF Google sheet. Okay, I heard about another ETF that's based on tracks cryptocurrencies. I meant to mention this, I think, last week or so. It's called the Bitwise Crypto Industry Innovators ETF. So I've added that as an alternative. And we'll see the other one that we have in here is Block. So I have we've got Bitcoin, we've got BITI, which is short on Bitcoin, BITO, which is long on Bitcoin. So you can trade cryptocurrency without, directly buying the cryptocurrency with BITI, BITO for Bitcoin. Block really, and we have a long position currently in Block, and it does have quite a few of the miners, Mara, Riot, MicroStrategy, etc. So that was kind of the one we previously used to trade cryptocurrency. So I wanted to add this BITQ as another alternative if you want to trade cryptocurrency again without directly buying Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies. We can now use that BITQ. You can see, the 52-week risk reward is pretty attractive. Short term, not so much. Long term, and again, it's got a better risk reward profile than Block. So again, another alternative if you want to trade cryptocurrencies without direct exposure. Again, you can use the link in the notes section in our Google Sheet to see the prospectus in the dividends or in the ETF database for more information. You can look at their holdings. So we can see they also have Riot, Coin, Mara, Hut, Hive, etc., MicroStrategies. So again, you can compare the holdings of BITQ to the holdings of Block and see, which one's more attractive to you. And again, we can see it's, got a better 52-week risk reward than Block. So again, if we wanted to trade cryptocurrency specifically, I would look at BITQ or BITO if I wanted Bitcoin. And again, I'd compare, the holdings of Block to BITQ to determine which one is more attractive. So again, another alternative, another way to trade cryptocurrency without having to learn how to trade them directly. So I hope that helps. Also, we did add BZQ to our database. So now the support resistance, etc. of BZQ, which is the Brazil, is automatically updated in our Google Sheet. So we can see we've got Brazil short, Brazil long, EWZ, BZQ. Another one I wanted to point out with emerging markets, we have a Chile long, which is ECH. You can see it's, kind of run up for a while, but one to watch for Chile. Yin and Yang are our preferred for China, although I know some people prefer CWeb, KWeb. You can see they have slightly different holdings, different leverage. I don't think KWeb or CWeb are leveraged. Also have biotech, so China biotech. So again, multiple ways to play China without, again, having exposure to individual Chinese stocks with that. Talked about emerging markets yesterday. We have some additional general emerging markets ETFs that you can use to trade emerging markets in general. So you can see we've got both long and short. So we've got a bull 3X on emerging markets, EDC, got a short in emerging markets, EDZ. So again, additional ways that you can play emerging markets generally with these ETFs. And again, you can look at the holdings of that via the links to the ETF database in the notes section as well. And you can see the risk reward profiles associated with those ETFs. Again, we've talked about Europe, EPV, EURL. We also got a couple. We've traded ULE in the past on the euro currency. Talked about FANG FANGD. Here's Japan, Easy EWV, EasyJ. So you guys talking about natural gas. Yeah, we looked at natural gas, pretty range bound between 250 and 3 right now. Slowly working its way up, but so we tend to use boil and cold. Again, day trade opportunities, very volatile. Short term, long term trends generally up, but very slow right now. Yeah, easy, Mike. I think I've got the cow ETF in there. Yep. And actually, that ETF covers both lean hogs and live cattle, I believe. Yep. So I've got it under both categories, both lean hogs and live cattle. Got things like DBA for agriculture, general agriculture. We've got wheat, corn, etc. Talked about SOXL and SOXS. These solar ETFs, raise and tans, they just don't really have a great risk-reward profile near term. So again, that's why we're looking at individual stocks. Last week we talked about potash. Easy Mike was asking about potash, so we looked at IPI and MOS. We can see where they're sitting right now. Again, kind of in the middle right now, but again, shorter term trades, those are preferred individual stocks. These are individual stocks that we look at for potash. So we're going to talk about treasuries, again, probably in the dividend payers, some of the updates I've made relative to treasuries. Talked about uranium. I've been looking at Vietnam, India, so VNAM and VNM for emerging markets of Vietnam. Also got several for India. INDL, INDQ. So again, they're kind of high. So these are both long on India. We don't have any short on India right now, but again, you can, if these ETFs are shortable and you're in an account that allows you to short individual shares, then you can short that shortable ETF as well. So I hope that all helps. If anybody else has a last minute ETF you want to look at, let me know in the chat. And again, you can use this, if you see an opportunity, you want to trade a particular emerging market, a particular commodity index. If you can't find it in our ETF Google Sheet, then just ask and we'll do the research and potentially add that to our ETF Google Sheet. And then you can access that if you join our Patreon and all access to VIP level to help you identify opportunities to trade those various categories and see the risk reward potential in each. So I hope that helps. Okay, so now let's talk about dividend payers. So we've got a couple other strategies we use to generate income. While we're looking for our swing trading stocks to watch opportunities to present themselves. So one opportunity, as you saw with the land and some of the other REITs, is we'll sit in one of these REITs, collect dividends, hopefully get some price appreciation, manually track it with a stop in case of a reversal. So we'll look for opportunities. I'm looking for opportunities to park some cash. We're just kind of sitting on a higher percentage of cash than, normally I would like. But again, cash isn't trash right now. It's paying, high 4s to 5%. So, again, and you'll see other people sitting on cash is a viable position and is generating a low risk return. We talked about that yesterday with the fallout from the Fed interest rate hike, is that interest rate on cash went up. But I was looking for opportunities, of how to deploy cash, get higher dividends, even in a short term. So I re-looked at some of these floating rate bond funds to see if that was an opportunity to try to, buy in low and then sell high. These rotate either monthly. I think they're all monthly rotations. So I added these to our dividend payers so I could look at the risk reward profile of these floating rate bonds. So there's 3 of them we looked at in the past: USFR, TFLO, and FLOT. So we'll take a look at those in our dividend payers spreadsheet. I'll bring that up. Helen Crow is mentioning BIL. Is that we'll take a look and see if that's a dividend payer or just a stock. I don't have it in here right now. You can access the FinBiz chart for any of these dividend payers and the direct link in the notes. So let me bring up one of those floating point bond guys first. So FLOT was one we added. So you can see the risk reward. The price appreciation on these is very small. You can see the dividend, and the adjusted yield again is pretty small. So since that's not competing very well with what I'm currently getting on my cash, which is high 4s, low 5%, I found out that's not a terribly attractive alternative. And you see their yields 4.37. Again, not much price appreciation. So again, I wanted to see if this was a potential opportunity to generate shorter term income. Okay, so BIL is a 1 to 3 month T-bill ETF. So this looks very similar to those floating rate bond funds. This guy's got a yield of 3.47. Looks very similar. If we look at T-Flow, I think is one of the others. So here's T-Flow. So again, that looks very similar to the BIL. I can take a look at that BIL in more detail and see if that's a better alternative. So thank you for sharing that with us, Alan Krantz. So again, you can see how you can look at the charts for any of these guys. You can see the yield, the adjusted yield takes into account potential price appreciation. You can see the ex-dividend date, and we showed last week how you can filter for ex-dividend dates that are greater than today, that are upcoming. So again, I'm looking for opportunities to deploy cash, generate additional income with dividend payers. So that there's FLOT. The other one was USFLR or USFR. So again, we can see risk reward's not great. Adjusted yield's only 4.47. So again, I wanted to see what those looked like. Again, I can do that bill one for you and see if that's one we want to add as well. So again, you could see if you'd like us to do research, calculate the risk rewards, look at additional dividend payers for you, just let us know and I'll do that research, and we can look at that possibly next week as well. Okay. Again, if you want access to this dividend payers Google sheet, help you build a dividend payment portfolio with a schedule and income generation that meets your criteria, you can join our Patreon at either the all access or VIP level, and then use this to identify dividend payers that meet your criteria at any time. And if you'd like us to do research, again, just put it in the comments, put it in our Discord, contact us via social media. Again, you can find all the links to here's an invite to our Discord, links to our social media, etc., all in the links on our homepage, which is beachbumtrading.com. So again, if you'd like us to do research on a dividend payer, or also as we are going to see our puts ROIC as well, you can contact us in any of those ways. Alan says Bill keeps going higher every day. Yeah. Several of those guys, you see, they drop on the ex-dividend date, then they trend up, right before the ex-dividend, and then they drop. But their overall trend's been up. So I wanted to see if there was a potential opportunity there to generate income by playing that run up into the ex-dividend date, etc. But I can get better risk, better return right now on my cash. So, okay. Kind of running out of time. So just some quick additions to our puts ROIC, which again is our other strategy. We talked about, selling and buying back covered calls. We talked about the fact that, we're trying to sell a cash secured put against Disney. I did lower the price on that. It didn't seem like it was going to make the 52-week high, so I did come down a little bit. It still hasn't sold yet. We still got one on Moderna. Again, with the depressed VIX, the premiums in general in these, hasn't been great. But I continue to look for opportunities to sell puts and then buy them back cheaper. So we sell when something's going down, buy it back when it bounces back up. I also recently added this SEDG, which is a semiconductor. It looks like it might have some potential, but the ROIC on it is very low. So again, not terribly interesting, not a good return on invested capital for parking money in Sedge right now. Now I did add, Live Nation, LYV at 65 strike price. Added that to the research tab, so I'm watching that to see. I identified that one using this option seller ROI tool. End of each day, I look in there using our criteria, see if there's anyone else that I might potentially want to sell put on, again, that I'm willing to hold if I get assigned. And so we're looking at Live Nation at a 65 strike price. It had a pretty decent premium the other day. So we'll see what that turns out to be. Again, our automated systems will collect this data on Monday, and then at the end of the day, it'll update the historical low, high, 52-week, etc. For those options. So again, if you'd like us to run research on any put options, just let us know. I'll add it to our Google Sheet, add it to our automated systems, and then our systems will collect and update that data at the end of the day. Okay, let me grab a quick drink, and then in the last few moments, Alan Krantz yesterday asked us to look at forward again. So let me grab a quick drink, and we'll take a quick look at forward again. Okay, I did. I'm pretty sure not too long ago I looked at Ford, and I think I did a quick take short video on Ford. So we can see, it's been in decline recently. Looks like it's in an upward trending channel, but got rejected. Got rejected recently off its moving average. Definitely downtrending, but it's an upward trending channel. I did hear, the cost of their electric vehicles is higher than even they previously guided. So pretty negative sentiment. Um, does pay a 4.5% dividend. Zoom out a little bit. Again, it looks, sentiment's negative, downtrending. Looks like, it's going to test this moving average, possibly test the longer term moving average. It looks like, here the weekly looks pretty range bound. So you don't have a whole lot of risk reward, maybe 11 to, 15, 16, 15.80. So, $4 upside. Right now it's got, $1.26 or so, maybe $2 downside. So, not great. I don't see any great opportunity in Ford right now. And again, they're spending a lot of money on EVs. I think they cut their price on their electric F-150 or whatever Lightning recently. So again, I as I mentioned, I think in the last time, I missed Ford back when it went down to 5 and then had its big run up. So again, it looks pretty flat. Again, short-term opportunities possibly if you can catch that bounce off that lower trend line. Might get a $3-4 upside, but and a slow long-term climb. So if you want a long-term hold, 4.5% dividends, not terrible. So I hope that helps, Ellen. If you have any other questions or if you'd like a deeper dive, more due diligence on Ford, we can certainly try to do that. So I hope that helps. Okay. Yeah, okay. Short term, again, you might get a reaction, might get a bounce. It's a pretty negative reaction, but it's broke down below that near-term moving average, so it could very well go down to test, 1250, 1260, something, and then you might get a bounce. So yeah, short term might be an opportunity there. Okay, if anyone else has a stock they want us to do due diligence on, please put it in the comments to this video in our Discord. You can contact us via social media, etc. So, or if there's anything else we can do to help you succeed in your trading career, help you make money trading, please let us know. Let us know. Provide us feedback, how we can improve these weekly trading game plans, our videos, etc., our community to add more value for all our fellow BeachBum traders. Please let us know. And otherwise, we hope you have a great rest of your weekend and a great trading week for the trading week of July 31st through August 4th. And we hope to see you back again next weekend. Thank you and have a great day.